Teamwork. What is so special about teamwork? Why is everyone talking about teamwork? I mean, really, how important is teamwork to your job? Let's talk about it. Okay, for those of you who have never experienced teamwork, I really am so sorry from the bottom of my heart, because then you haven't really started to enjoy and totally experience the bliss of healthcare. Teamwork works when everyone does what they're supposed to do and then some. The nurses get along with other nurses, the CNAs get along with other CNAs, and the CNAs and the nurses get along, and everybody just has this kumbaya moment day after day. Oh my God, it's one of the best things that can happen in healthcare. In the nursing department, the nurses and the aides are always knocking heads. I don't know, someday maybe it will come to an end. But as long as there is no teamwork, as long as nurses don't get along with CNAs, CNAs don't get along with nurses, well, guess what? It's just going to be tough for everyone. And that is what people don't understand. Teamwork works. Okay. Now, having said that, I need to also let you into some things. Teamwork doesn't mean that you don't know your scope of practice. You have to know your scope of practice. So what do I mean by that? CNAs, you need to know what you're allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do. So one of the things that you cannot do is feed patients through the G-tube. This has been known to happen. It's a no-no. It's not part of your scope of practice. One of the things that you cannot do is also do wound dressing or any kind of treatments, trick, or you're checking even blood sugar. I have a problem with that. Now, having said that, in some facilities, they actually train the CNAs to check for blood sugar, especially when you work in the hospital. If you've been trained, you feel comfortable, that's fine. However, the teamwork I'm talking about is call lights. Okay, when you're in school, nursing school or CNA school, they tell you everybody gets the call lights, but that's not true. CNAs tend to get their call lights. Nurses tend to get call lights when they're the ones supposed to get the call lights, meaning like if you work in a place where, okay, say in the hospital, because this has happened before where you're in a department or in a unit where you are the all in all. You don't have a CNA, okay? However, there are other nurses that can get your lights, but they're not gonna, okay? It's the same thing in the nursing home, which predominantly where I have really worked. Okay, very early on in my career, I did hospitals, but predominantly I have worked in nursing homes. Call lights are answered by those that have been assigned to that room. Everybody doesn't get the call light. That's what the book tells you. Well, the book is talking about book world. There is book world and there's work world. Teamwork is when the call light is answered by everybody, just like the book world says, okay? So say, for instance, Jessica is in room 326 and she has 328 and the call light goes off. Her patient is on the call light. It would mean Nurse Jenny will go in there, ask what this patient wants, and it's such thing as, I don't know, water. Can you just turn the water from the pitcher that is right by the bed, pour it in for me, or can you just fluff my pillows, or maybe it's just the remote control. It becomes a problem when Nurse Jenny goes there and then here's what this patient has to say. It doesn't take her, I don't know, maybe like a minute, even if that, 2 minutes at the most, okay? Sometimes it's just 30 seconds. But Nurse Jenny isn't going to do that. Nurse Jenny is going to go into room 326, tell Jessica, oh, guess what? Your patient wants to be changed, position changed. Your patient is asking for you to help her with her TV. Your patient wants water. That is no teamwork. Teamwork is when you're able to do things for the other person and they can in turn also do things for you. Now, having said this, now I know nurses, you're going to go like, it's easy for you to say because I can probably do a CNA job, which you probably could, but a CNA cannot do my job. And that is true. I have said that before. I will help my CNA as much as I can, but you also have to bear in mind that the CNA cannot do my job. They cannot give out medication. So if in the middle of medication I really cannot get away, well, that light will not just be received in the manner or in the timely manner that it should. It will be that because, again, giving medication or some kind of treatment or some kind of skilled work that the nurse is going to do is going to take time. But it will be nice to go answer that light. And then when you go in there, see if it's something that you can do in like 30 seconds. If it's not something you can do, it's okay. Talk to the patient. Let the patient understand that, look, we'll get to you as soon as we can. That is teamwork. And then you go to whoever owns that line and say, look, I tried to talk to this person. This light went off. I tried to get it. But you know what? I need to quickly I need to administer this medications, okay? But I will quickly, if I can. Again, communication is part of teamwork. Communication is part of teamwork. That aide is going to appreciate you. Like, okay, you tried your best, okay? Now, it's not just only between nurses and CNAs or GNAs or STNAs or whatever you are called as long as you've taken your state test. No, what I'm trying to say is teamwork can be between nurses to nurses, aides to aides, and aides to nurses and nurses to aides. It doesn't matter. Even housekeeping, laundry, everyone should lend a hand. It really makes the job easier. I've worked in places where there was teamwork. Oh my goodness. We covered each other's back. You go on break. I don't smoke. And sometimes it's really annoying when people have to always go for their smoke breaks because if anything, they take more smoke breaks than we who don't smoke do. But if there's teamwork, you keep it flowing. Does that make sense? Now, not everyone believes me or actually even cares to agree with me. That's okay. But that's what I think. Teamwork goes a long way, makes your job so easy. And I've worked in places where there is no teamwork. Zit. Like call light. People are like, no, my assignment is my assignment. This is what I'm doing. Then the people who suffer, if you ask me, is the patients. If you care for your patients and your resident, you would help your nurse, your CNA, the cleaning person or the laundry. You really all will put your hands on deck and try to make this person's life easier. Not just the patient's life, but also your life. It's so smooth, it's so sweet. Teamwork works. So what have you got to lose? Why don't you just go to work after watching this video? Say, Nurse Amy said, let's try this teamwork thing, okay? Your call light goes up, I'm going to go in there. If it's something I know I can do within the time frame that I can, like giving water, give them water. Now, it's different if you don't know if they, because sometimes, and I know this has happened because there are times when I get really offended when an aide goes into a room, comes back and tell another aide, oh, she wanted water. And I'm thinking, well, you could have given her. See, I like teamwork. But then I've also been given that excuse before, like, I don't know if this aide is, not the aide, if the patient is NPO, which if she is, there should be a sign somewhere in the room, okay? But also if she's on thickened liquid or normal liquid. Now I'll buy that because that's also happened to me before where a light is going off or some patient needed help. I went in there. She said she needed water. I'm like, hold on. She was very upset, but I was trying to save her, okay? Because I don't want anyone choking on me. So I went to the aide, okay? I couldn't even find the aide. Oh, I remember this. I could not even find the aide. I went to the chart to make sure this person is it on thickened liquid or regular liquid. I found it. And then I went and did it. Now, to some people, that might be extra. Nurse, why are you doing all this? Where's your age? You're just hiding somewhere. And that's true. And I can always write you up later. Don't get me wrong. I am no pushover. As long as everyone pulls their weight and do what they're supposed to do so things can move smoothly, I don't have a problem. I really do not. I don't have the need to micromanage anyone. But I'm also going to do right by my patients. Teamwork works. Try it. What have you got to lose? If it doesn't work, then hey, you tried it. But I can tell you, I can promise you, once you have experienced teamwork, there ain't no going back. You're going to love it. You're going to always try to, give your best. But I also know there are people, it doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to reciprocate. And those are the evil ones. And there are evil nurses and evil CNAs. And we'll be talking about those. I don't know, but I know, I know one of my students right now is like, talk about it, Nurse Amy. David, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, maybe the next episode, but we'll be talking about evil nurses and evil CNAs. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you got value in this, please go ahead, smash that like button. It does a lot to help with the, YouTube algorithm. I'm supposed to say that, but it's the truth. And then also it encourages me. Okay, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Be safe.